Have you ever felt so tired, not just in your body, but in your soul? It's like an invisible weight dragging you down, making every step feel heavy and every smile seem forced. You might think, oh, it's just burnout, too much work, not enough rest, and reach for another cup of coffee or maybe a vacation. But what if I told you that this tiredness might actually be a secret message from God? Imagine that. Imagine that this fatigue isn't a coincidence or a random glitch in your life, but a loving nudge from God, trying to guide you back to a path that brings more peace, joy, and deeper connection with Him. I want to dive into a topic that many of us shy away from, because it feels uncomfortable and misunderstood: spiritual exhaustion. I believe that our tiredness isn't just a physical or psychological state. It carries a spiritual significance that we often overlook. So today, let's explore what the Bible says about these moments of bone-deep weariness. Let us uncover the possible reasons behind it and discover how to transform this tiredness into a source of spiritual growth and renewal. You see, in our fast-paced world, we're often taught to ignore our limits, push through discomfort, and keep striving harder. But what if this relentless pursuit comes at a cost to our well-being and our relationship with God? We'll talk about the importance of paying attention to these feelings and how they might hold valuable messages for our lives. Now, before we dig deeper into this conversation, I have a question for you. Have you ever experienced a persistent sense of tiredness that seemed to affect not just your body, but also your spirit? I'd love to hear your story. Please feel free to share it in the comments below. And hey, if you find value in our conversations here, I invite you to join our growing family by subscribing. Each week we release new videos diving into these profound topics. Okay, let's go deeper. Imagine reading a book where the characters don't speak, but their actions and emotions tell a silent story. Now imagine that you're a character in that book, and your life is full of unwritten chapters. Wouldn't it be helpful to have a guide to help you interpret the signs, understand the messages, and navigate the paths laid before you? Well, guess what? Life itself is like that unwritten book, and your tiredness might be one of the chapters waiting for your interpretation. You see, the Bible encourages us to be still and know that God is with us. But sometimes stillness isn't just about quieting our minds. It's also about quieting our busyness, our drive to constantly push forward without pausing to reflect. When we're knee-deep in tasks, projects, and responsibilities, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We become so focused on the details that we miss the whispers of wisdom that God might be trying to convey. In the Bible, there's a beautiful story of a woman at the well. She wasn't just tired, she was worn out from living a life dictated by societal expectations. But when she met Jesus, He didn't just offer her water. He offered her living water, a source of refreshment that went beyond anything she could have imagined. This story reminds us that God's approach is always greater than our expectations. So when we're facing exhaustion, we can trust that God's solution is more restorative and transformative than anything we could come up with on our own. Think about the times when you felt the strongest urge to prioritize God. Was there a project, a goal, or a commitment that suddenly seemed less important? Did you feel drawn to prayer, meditation, or spending quality time in nature? These aren't just random thoughts. They're signals from your spirit guiding you towards what truly aligns with your values and purpose. So, what can we learn from this? Well, first, we must acknowledge that spiritual tiredness isn't a weakness, a failure, or something to be ashamed of. It's a call to pay attention, to listen to the wisdom of our souls, and realign ourselves with what truly matters. Next, we should ask ourselves, what might this tiredness be trying to teach me? Is there an area of my life where I've lost focus or strayed from my path? And finally, we need to take action. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Just start small. Maybe it's setting aside 10 minutes each day for quiet reflection, or committing to one tech-free hour where you disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with yourself and God. As you take these steps, remember that you're not alone. God hasn't called you to this journey by yourself. Lean on friends, seek guidance from mentors, and don't hesitate to seek professional help if needed. Imagine you're driving a car without a gas light. You wouldn't get very far before you ran out of fuel. Our bodies work in a similar way. When we ignore our limits and push through exhaustion, we're essentially driving on empty. Burnout, illness, and strained relationships become the signs flashing red on our spiritual dashboard. But when we pause, rest, and recharge, we're filling the tank of our souls. And that's when the green light of vitality, joy, and peace shines brightly. So, how do we practically apply this understanding to our lives? One way is to schedule breaks. Yes, put time in your calendar for rest, just like you would for any other important appointment. Make it non-negotiable. Another approach is to diversify your activities. Our souls need a variety of experiences to thrive, not just work. Make time for hobbies, creative pursuits, and social connections that bring you joy. I've personally experienced the transformative power of incorporating these practices into my own life. By scheduling breaks, I found that I returned to my work feeling refreshed and more focused. And by diversifying my activities, I discovered new sources of joy and energy that I never knew I had. When we talk about listening to our bodies, it's crucial to differentiate between our physical needs and the voice of our souls. Sometimes tiredness might be your body's way of telling you that you need rest, hydration, or good food. But other times, it might be your soul's way of communicating that something deeper needs your attention. Pay attention to the difference between the two. For instance, if you've been neglecting your prayer life and suddenly feel drained, it might be your soul calling you back to a deeper connection with God. Or, if you've been overcommitted and stressed, it might be your body signaling that it needs a break. Learning to discern between these voices is a vital skill on our journey to holistic well-being. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever felt a strong sense of tiredness that seemed to go beyond physical fatigue? What did you do to address it? Please share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your story might resonate with someone who is going through something similar. You see, burnout isn't just about being tired. It's about feeling disconnected, disillusioned, and drained. It's when our passion for what we're doing has faded, leaving us stuck in a cycle of apathy and resentment. This is where the concept of soul care becomes essential. It's not just about self-care, but nurturing the deepest parts of ourselves that often get neglected in the hustle of everyday life. So what does soul care look like in practice? Well, it's different for everyone. It could be taking time to journal, meditate, or engage in activities that bring you joy and help you connect with your inner self. For me, soul care means dedicating time each day to unplug from the noise, whether that's through prayer, meditation, or simply sitting in silence. It's during these moments that I feel most connected to myself, my spirituality, and the world around me. Soul care is an investment in yourself, your well-being, and your journey with God. It's a reminder that you matter, that you're worthy of love and care, and that your spirit deserves nourishment just as much as your body and mind. Sometimes our exhaustion is tied to our perception of failure, success, or achievement. But what if we shift our perspective? What if we redefine success to include balance, joy, and fulfillment, not just external achievements? This mindset shift can be a game changer when we're feeling burnt out. Success shouldn't come at the expense of our well-being or our relationship with God. It is okay to acknowledge that there are times when our goals or ambitions are underlined with our current capacity or priorities. And that's okay. Adjusting our expectations and taking the necessary steps to regain balance can lead to a more sustainable and fulfilling life. You see, our spiritual tiredness isn't just a sign of burnout. It's a pathway to deeper wisdom, growth, and connection with God. By recognizing these signs, understanding their potential messages, and taking steps to address them, we can restore not just our energy, but our souls. Remember, your tiredness might not be a curse, but a blessing in disguise, pointing you towards a more balanced, joyful, and purpose-driven life. If you found this conversation insightful, I encourage you to watch this video next. It delves deeper into the spiritual aspects of our well-being, offering more tools and perspectives for your journey. And do you not forget to hit the like button if you like to see more content like this. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Until next time, may you find peace, joy, and deeper meaning in every step you take.